The vast silence of space was broken by the distant hum of alien warships. They glided to the void like predatory sharks, their metal hulls gleaming under the cold light of the sun. Earth's orbit had never seen a fleet like this before. Inside one of the massive ships, the elite alien soldiers prepared for what they believed would be a simple victory. They were the pride of their species, trained for centuries, equipped with weapons no human could hope to withstand. Far below, on Earth's surface, a small squad of human soldiers readied themselves. They were not as tall, strong, or heavily armed as the aliens, but they had something the aliens did not: gravity suits. These advanced suits allowed humans to defy traditional physics, move with agility that no alien could predict, and strike with precision even in extreme conditions. Captain Mira Daniels, the leader of the human squad, checked her team one last time. Her voice was calm but firm. "Remember, it's not strength that wins battles. It's thinking, timing, and courage." Her team nodded. They trusted her completely. Years of training had prepared them for this moment, though none of them had faced an opponent like this before. The aliens were confident, mocking, and arrogant. In the distance, the alien fleet opened its communication channel. Their leader's voice echoed across the sky, full of disdain. "Look at them. Tiny humans wearing their silly suits. Do they think they can fight us? Pathetic." The alien soldiers laughed, a sound that was harsh, metallic, and chilling. Some of them even floated down to observe the humans directly, curious and amused. Myra's heart beat steadily. She knew their suits would give them an edge, but the aliens' confidence was dangerous. One mistake could be fatal. Yet, she felt something strange, a sense of calm and clarity. For the first time, she realized that the aliens' arrogance might be their weakness. "Move in formation," Mira ordered. Her voice carried authority, and her team obeyed without hesitation. They adjusted their suits, feeling the slight hum of power coursing through the joints and grav stabilizers. Every step they took was precise, calculated, and measured. The first encounter began as the humans descended from their shuttle. They moved like shadows, almost invisible against the rocky terrain. The aliens, expecting clumsy and weak opponents, were taken aback. The humans leaped, spun, and darted across the field with movements that seemed impossible. One alien soldier tried to aim a plasma cannon, but his timing was off. Mira had predicted this. With a quick flick of her wrist, her suit's microgravity pulse sent a small shockwave toward him, causing him to stumble and crash to the ground. A wave of murmurs rippled through the alien ranks. The human team continued forward. They did not shout. They did not make flashy moves. Every action was deliberate. Every dodge and strike was precise. The aliens' laughter faded, replaced with frustration and disbelief. "Impossible!" one of the elite soldiers shouted. His voice cracked with anger. "They are just humans. How are they moving like that?" Myra's eyes scanned the battlefield. She noticed patterns in the alien movements, small habits that gave them away. Using this knowledge, she guided her team. "Left flank, 3 o'clock, she whispered. "Use the terrain. Make them crash into each other." And it worked. Aliens collided, their formations disrupted. One by one, they tumbled to the ground, unable to control their momentum. The humans were silent, almost ghost-like, moving in perfect harmony. The battlefield shifted. The aliens, once confident and mocking, were now cautious. Their arrogance had blinded them. They had underestimated the humans' ingenuity and the advantage of the gravity suits. But then came the unexpected turning point. From the side of the field, a new squad of alien reinforcements appeared, larger and more heavily armed than the first. The humans noticed them almost instantly. Mira knew they could not hold out against this force for long. She felt a surge of tension, but also determination. "We have to split their attention," she said. "Draw them in one by one. Patience and timing will be our greatest weapons." Her team nodded, their faces set in concentration. They moved like a well-oiled machine, each member knowing their role. As the new aliens advanced, the humans used the terrain, hills, rocks, and shadows to create illusions of multiple squads. They feinted attacks, vanished, and reappeared in unexpected locations. The aliens struggled to keep up, tripping and crashing repeatedly. The tide was turning. Mira could see it in their eyes. Fear had begun to replace arrogance. For a moment, she felt a flicker of hope. Perhaps this battle could be won against all odds. But then, the unexpected happened. A massive alien walker, taller than any building on Earth, stomped onto the battlefield. Its weapons were enormous, and its presence alone sent tremors across the ground. Mira froze for a fraction of a second, her mind racing. The human suits could handle agility, but not brute force on this scale. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. "Focus," she told her team. "Do not panic. Use the suits. Stay calm. We fight smart, not hard." The humans spread out, using the walker's massive legs as cover. They studied its movements, looking for weaknesses. Mira noticed that despite its size, it moved slowly and predictably. Its steps were heavy, creating vibrations that could be used to their advantage. One human soldier, Jake, tapped his suit's controls. His gravity pulse hit the ground just as the walker stepped down. The vibration caused it to stumble slightly. Mira smiled. This was their chance. They coordinated their attack. Using microgravity boosts, they leaped onto elevated rocks, dodged heavy laser fire, and struck the walker's joints with precision tools built into their suits. The walker faltered. Sparks flew from its mechanical limbs. The elite alien soldiers, previously unshakable, shouted in panic. It was a first real victory in the battle, a small but significant turning point. The humans had proved that their suits, combined with intelligence and timing, could defeat even the most terrifying foes. Mira took a moment to observe her team. They were tired, their suits battered, but their spirits were high. Every member knew they had achieved something incredible. The aliens had underestimated humans. They had misjudged courage, adaptability, and ingenuity. The unexpected turning point was not just about the battle. It was about a shift in perception. Humans were no longer the weak, insignificant species they had once been considered. Now, they were a force that could challenge even the mightiest enemies. But the battle was far from over. The alien reinforcements continued to advance, and the massive walkers still posed a threat. Mira knew this victory was only temporary. They had proven a point, but survival depended on what they did next. "Prepare for the next wave," Mira ordered. Her voice was calm but firm, commanding respect. "We've shown them we can fight. Now we need to show them we can win." Her team moved into position. Every step, every breath, every action was calculated. They had learned, adapted, and grown stronger in the heat of battle. The unexpected turning point had changed everything, not just for them, but for the aliens as well. For the first time, the elite alien soldiers felt doubt. Their arrogance had been shattered. The humans were not what they had expected. They were clever, unpredictable, and fearless. The battlefield had shifted, and the humans now held the advantage, not through brute force, but through skill, intelligence, and the unexpected power of their gravity suits. As the sun set behind the jagged mountains, casting long shadows across the battlefield, Mira looked at her team. "We've started something today," she said softly, almost to herself. "Something they won't forget." The humans stood together, battered but unbroken. The alien soldiers, once confident and mocking, now hesitated, unsure of how to proceed. The unexpected turning point had arrived, and with it, a new chapter in the war between humans and the elite alien soldiers. And in that moment, it became clear. The humans were no longer to be underestimated. The battlefield fell silent for a heartbeat, filled with anticipation, fear, and the faint hum of the gravity suits. Everyone knew this was only the beginning. The unexpected turning point had changed the course of the battle, but the war was far from over. Mira tightened her grip on her suit controls, feeling the surge of power and potential. She glanced at her team, each member ready for what was coming next. "Remember," she said, her voice steady and resolute, "we may be few, but we are smart. We fight not with fear, but with courage. And that is something no alien can predict." The first part of the battle had ended. The humans had survived, adapted, and triumphed in a small but crucial way. The unexpected turning point had proven that even the smallest, seemingly weaker species could change the course of history. And with that realization, the stage was set for the next chapter of their story, one filled with danger, cunning, and the thrilling promise of more victories to come. The dust on the battlefield still swirled in the air as the humans regrouped behind a jagged ridge. Mira Daniels glanced at her team, each member catching their breath but alert, eyes scanning for any signs of the enemy. The aliens, humiliated by the humans' first successful maneuvers, had vanished briefly behind their massive war machines. But Mira knew it was only a pause. A deeper, deadlier counterattack was coming. She could feel in the vibration of the ground and the hum of alien energy fields. "Stay sharp," she warned. "They won't underestimate us twice." The human squad moved cautiously, gravity suits humming softly with energy. These suits were their lifeline. They allowed humans to leap high, move fast, and strike with pinpoint precision. But Mira knew even the suits had limits. One mistake could mean instant defeat. Far above, alien commanders conferred in their floating command ship. The elite soldiers were furious. They had mocked humans, laughed at their so-called gravity suits. And yet the humans had survived. One officer slammed a clawed hand onto a console. "They should have been crushed," the officer hissed. "We must strike now with everything we have." The humans had barely time to react when the first wave of reinforcements arrived. Unlike the previous squad, these aliens were not laughing. They were methodical, deadly, and precise. Their movement was synchronized, a well-oiled machine of destruction. "Positions!" Mira shouted. "Use the terrain and don't give them an easy shot." The humans darted into the shadows of rocks and craters. Gravity suits made them seem like ghosts, appearing and disappearing at will. They launched microgravity pulses to disorient the aliens, tripping them, making them collide with one another. Yet, this wave was stronger, smarter. The humans could no longer rely solely on surprise. They had to think ahead, anticipate every move. Suddenly, a massive alien scout leaped forward, its long limbs striking toward Myra's position. She twisted midair. Her suit amplified her movement and landed safely behind a boulder. With a quick motion, she activated a grav pulse that sent the scout tumbling backward into its own squad. The humans couldn't help but feel a surge of confidence, but it was fleeting. The aliens had adapted. Their attacks were faster, more coordinated, and more ruthless. "Jake, left flank, now!" Mira barked. Jake dashed forward, gravity suit aiding his speed. He grabbed a glowing alien energy core and flung it at a cluster of advancing enemies. The explosion rocked the ground, throwing dust and alien soldiers into the air. For a moment, it seemed the humans had the upper hand. But then the unexpected happened. From the side, a new type of alien machine emerged, a towering quadruped with weapons that fired in arcs of crackling energy. Myra's eyes widened. This was unlike anything they had seen before. The human's agility could protect them for a while, but the machine's size and speed made it nearly unstoppable. "Split up," Mira ordered. "Divide its focus." The team scattered, moving in unpredictable patterns. The quadruped lashed its energy whips, striking the ground and sending shockwaves in all directions. Mira ducked behind a boulder as a whip slammed into the earth, shattering rocks around her. Sparks flew as the whip barely missed her suit. But the humans were not afraid. Each member used their suit's abilities to their maximum. They leaped, flipped, and darted in ways the aliens could not predict. Every movement was calculated, every action precise. Mira noticed a pattern in the quadruped's attacks. Its energy whips moved in a rhythm, almost like a dance. She whispered quickly to her team, "Wait for the third strike," then hit its joints simultaneously. The humans nodded. Timing was everything. One wrong move and the machine could crush them in an instant. The third strike came. All at once, the humans launched microgravity pulses at the quadruped's legs. Sparks flew, metal groaned, and the machine stumbled. It tried to recover, but another pulse struck its joints. The quadruped toppled, crashing to the ground in a shower of sparks and twisted metal. For a moment, silence fell over the battlefield. Even the elite alien soldiers hesitated, their confidence shaken. The humans had not only survived, they had outsmarted a machine designed to annihilate them. But the battle was far from over. The alien commanders were furious. They unleashed a wave of soldiers, faster and more coordinated than before. These aliens were not only elite, They were trained for cunning, anticipating every trick the humans might use. Mira felt a cold sweat on her forehead. She knew they couldn't fight head-on. They were outnumbered, but she had an idea. "Everyone follow me," she shouted. The humans moved toward a nearby canyon, narrow and winding. Mira had studied the terrain and realized it could be used as a trap. If the aliens followed, their numbers would work against them. The humans positioned themselves strategically, invisible from the aliens' perspective. Gravity suits allowed them to cling to walls, leap from rocks, and strike from unexpected angles. The aliens, overconfident, pursued without caution. The trap worked perfectly. One by one, the aliens stumbled into the canyon, constrained by its narrow walls. The humans struck from above, sending gravity pulses, kicking debris, and causing chaos. Aliens collided with walls and each other, unable to move freely. Myra's heart raced with adrenaline. This was the turning point. The moment humans proved they were more than what aliens expected. Every pulse, every strike was precise. They were outnumbered, but strategy and intelligence gave them the upper hand. The alien commander realized a mistake too late. His soldiers were trapped, and the humans were picking them off one by one. He roared in frustration, trying to signal retreat, but the humans' tactics left him with few options. Push them back. Mira commanded, "Keep them moving." The humans surged forward, a coordinated wave of motion and calculated strikes. Aliens fell, one after another, struggling to regain their composure. The canyon echoed with the sounds of battle, metal clashing, armor cracking, and alien cries of shock and fear. In the chaos, Mira spotted the elite alien leader, the one who had laughed at humans before the battle. He was trying to climb a rock to escape, but his movements were clumsy, hindered by the humans' precise attacks. "End it," Mira whispered, almost to herself. The team converged on the leader. Using synchronized gravity pulses, they knocked him off balance. He fell, crashing the ground with a heavy thud. For the first time, the humans had not just survived, they had humiliated the elite alien leader. Mira looked at her team, exhausted, battered, but alive. Each member's eyes reflected disbelief and pride. They had done what no one thought possible. But Mira knew better than to celebrate too soon. The aliens still had numbers, resources, and determination. Today was a victory, yes, but the war was far from over. She turned to her team. "This is just the beginning," she said. "We've shown them humans are not to be underestimated, but they will adapt, and so must we." The humans moved from the canyon, taking advantage of the cover and shadows. Their suits hummed softly, energy still running through them, ready for the next encounter. They were a small squad against a powerful enemy, but their courage, intelligence, and unexpected tactics had turned the tide, at least for now. Above them, the alien commander observed with fury. He had underestimated humans, laughed at their suits, and paid the price. But he was not defeated. Not yet. The humans had survived, yes, but survival in the universe came at a cost. Every move had to be precise, every decision calculated, and the next step could be the most dangerous yet. Mira clenched her fists, looking at the horizon. "We fight smart, we fight together," she said, "and we will not fall. Not today. Not ever." The humans vanished into the shadows, ready for the next phase of the battle. The unexpected had happened. They had survived the deadliest counterattack, outsmarted a superior force, and proved that humans with courage and intelligence could challenge even elite alien soldiers. The battlefield lay scattered with wreckage and fallen aliens. Gravity pulses had sent metal and bodies tumbling. Yet for the humans, there was no time to rest. The aliens would regroup, reinforcements would come, and the humans would have to be ready. Myra's team moved silently but confidently. Every step was measured. Every movement was precise. They had survived the deadliest counterattack, but they knew the war had only begun. And in that moment, a silent promise passed through the squad. Humans would not back down, no matter how elite the enemy, no matter how deadly the forces arrayed against them. They would fight, they would survive, and they would triumph. The unexpected turning point had given them hope, but the deadly counterattack had taught them a crucial lesson. Intelligence, courage, and unity were the greatest weapons of all. And with that, the stage was set for part 3, a battle even more intense, dangerous, and unpredictable. The humans had survived the first waves, but the ultimate test of skill, cunning, and courage was yet to come. The battlefield was quiet for a moment, but it was the kind of quiet that made every heartbeat feel loud. Dust swirled in the air, and the smell of scorched earth hung thick. Mira Daniels and her team crouched behind jagged rocks, eyes scanning for movement. The humans had survived the first waves, outsmarted the aliens' elite soldiers, and even toppled a massive quadruped war machine. But this was only the beginning. Far above, the alien command ship pulsed with fury. Its elite soldiers, once mocking and arrogant, were now plotting carefully. They had learned something crucial. Humans were not predictable. They could think, adapt, and fight in ways that defied alien logic. "They've outsmarted our best," one officer hissed. "Prepare the next wave. No mistakes." Below, Myra's team whispered among themselves. Their suits were scratched and battered, but the energy core still hummed, ready to amplify their strength, speed, and agility. "We need to strike before they regroup fully," Mira said softly. Her eyes scanned the horizon. In the distance, she saw something unexpected. A massive alien fortress had appeared, emerging from the clouds like a dark storm. Its weapons bristled, and its defenses were nearly impenetrable. Jake frowned. "That's huge. How do we even get close?" Mira didn't answer immediately. She studied the fortress, noting patterns in the guards' patrols and the flow of energy shields. Her mind raced, connecting every detail like pieces of a puzzle. "We don't go in directly," she said at last. "We create a distraction. Make them think we're weak, then hit where it hurts most." The humans nodded. Each team member had learned to trust Mira implicitly. Their first battle had taught them that strength alone did not win fights. Intelligence, timing, and courage did. The plan began with careful precision. 2 members of the team, using microgravity boosts, darted across the open plains to appear as if they were retreating. Their goal was to lure the alien patrols out of position. The aliens, still frustrated by their earlier defeats, fell for the ruse. They moved aggressively, leaving key areas of the fortress lightly defended. Myra's squad watched from a distance, waiting for the perfect moment. Then, the unexpected happened. From the clouds above, alien drop pods descended rapidly, carrying a new breed of soldier. These were faster, stronger, and armed with energy lances that could pierce almost any material. Mira felt her stomach tighten. This wave was different. The aliens were escalating. "Positions!" she shouted. "Don't engage yet. Wait for my signal." The humans melted into the shadows, their suits humming softly. The drop pods landed with precise thuds, and the new alien soldiers moved quickly, scanning the terrain. Their eyes glowed with intelligence, alert and ready. Myra's heart pounded. Every instinct screamed danger. Yet, she felt a calm focus. She had a plan, and she knew timing was everything. The humans waited. They watched the soldiers move, studied the rhythm of their patrols, and identified weak points in their formation. Then Mira gave the signal. "Now!" The humans sprang into action. Using the microgravity features of their suits, they leapt from rocks, flipped through the air, and struck with precision. Gravity pulses disoriented the alien soldiers, sending them crashing into each other. Their energy lances missed their targets, their coordination faltering under the humans' unpredictable movements. The battlefield erupted. Dust, sparks, and energy beams filled the air. The humans moved like shadows, striking, dodging, and retreating before the aliens could recover. Every strike was calculated, every movement deliberate. One of the elite alien soldiers tried to flank Mira. She spun midair, landing behind him, and sent a gravity pulse through the ground. The soldier stumbled, his lance sparking uselessly. Myra's team closed in, striking in unison. The elite soldier fell, defeated by humans who had mastered timing, intelligence, and precision. But the humans were not invincible. One of the newer alien soldiers managed to land a blow on Jake, sending him skidding across the battlefield. Myra's eyes widened as she raced toward him, her suit boosting her speed. She reached him just in time to deflect a follow-up strike, saving him from a fatal blow. The humans quickly realized that the new breed of alien soldiers was learning from their mistakes. Every attack became sharper, every movement more calculated. The battle was escalating, not just in numbers, but in intelligence. Mira made a quick decision. "We split up," she said. "Keep them guessing. Don't let them adapt to a pattern." The team scattered. Each member became a blur of motion, striking from unexpected angles. The aliens tried to anticipate, but the humans were unpredictable. Gravity pulses sent soldiers crashing into each other, and every strike weakened the aliens' cohesion. Then came the next twist. A massive energy shield descended from a fortress, cutting off the humans' retreat. Myra's heart skipped a beat. They were trapped. The humans could no longer fall back. They had to fight their way forward. "Stay calm," Mira whispered. "Use the terrain, and use your brains. Strength isn't enough. Think, adapt, survive." The humans pressed forward, using rocks and craters as cover. Gravity suits allowed them to leap high, land precisely, and strike where the aliens least expected. They coordinated attacks silently, communicating with hand signals and subtle pulses in their suits. The elite alien soldiers roared in frustration. Their advanced weapons were failing against humans who were smaller, weaker, but smarter. Every time they adapted, the humans had already moved to the next tactic. Mira spotted an opportunity. One section of the fortress had an exposed energy conduit, vital to the fortress's defenses. "We hit that," she said to her team. "Take it down, and we cripple their defenses." The humans moved as one. Gravity pulses carried them across the battlefield, dodging energy beams and striking soldiers with pinpoint accuracy. They reached the conduit. Mira activated the suit's amplified pulse, sending a focused surge of energy into the alien infrastructure. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the energy shield flickered. The aliens were stunned. Their fortress, thought to be invulnerable, had been damaged by a small human squad. Panic spread among the soldiers. The humans, despite being outnumbered, had turned the tide once again, not by brute force, but through intelligence, coordination, and clever use of their suits. Mira watched as the aliens tried to regroup, but it was too late. Their formations were broken, their soldiers scattered, and their confidence shattered. Humans, once considered weak and insignificant, were now a threat no alien could ignore. The battlefield erupted in chaos. Gravity pulses sent enemies crashing into walls, rocks, and each other. Humans moved like ghosts, striking and disappearing before the aliens could react. Then, from the shadows, the elite alien commander appeared. He had recovered from earlier defeats and now looked more dangerous than ever. His eyes glowed with fury. "You will not survive this," he shouted, raising a massive energy lance. Mira didn't flinch. She met his gaze calmly. "We already have," she said quietly, almost to herself. The commander charged. Mira and her team moved as one, using every tactic they had learned. Gravity pulses, flips, and strikes targeted the commander's weak points. He roared, swinging his lance, but the humans anticipated every move. Finally, with a coordinated strike, they toppled the elite commander. He crashed to the ground, stunned and defeated. For the humans, it was a moment of triumph, a validation of courage, intelligence, and teamwork against overwhelming odds. But Mira knew better than to celebrate. The fortress still stood, and reinforcements could arrive at any moment. The humans had survived the deadliest counterattack so far, but the war was far from over. She gathered her team. "We've proven something today," she said. "Humans are not to be underestimated, but stay vigilant. The next wave will be worse, and we must be ready." The humans moved carefully through the battlefield, each step calculated, each breath measured. The aliens had learned something too. The humans were not predictable, and that made them dangerous. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the rocky plains. Dust and smoke hung in the air. Mira looked at her team, exhausted but determined. They had survived, adapted, and struck back. The turning tide of battle was clear. The humans were no longer prey. They were hunters, strategists, and survivors. And as the horizon glowed with the last light of day, Mira realized one thing. The unexpected was their greatest weapon. Their intelligence, courage, and unity had turned what seemed like certain defeat into a moment of triumph. The battlefield was quiet once more, but this quiet was different. It was a calm before the next storm, a storm that the humans would face head-on, ready for anything. The turning tide had begun, and the humans, small but fearless, were ready to ride it to victory. The battlefield lay in ruin. Smoke curled into the sky, carrying with it the sharp scent of scorched metal and alien energy. Mira Daniels and her team moved cautiously among the debris, their gravity suits humming softly with power. They had survived wave after wave, outsmarted elite alien soldiers, and even toppled massive war machines. Yet, they knew the fight was far from over. The aliens were shaken. Their elite soldiers had been defeated repeatedly, their arrogance shattered. The command ship pulsed above, a menacing shadow against the dying light of the planet. Inside, the alien commander seethed. "They underestimate humans again," he growled, claws slamming against the control panel. "Prepare the reckoning wave. We will end this." Mira felt a chill run down her spine. She had anticipated strong attacks, clever tactics, but she had not seen this coming. From a command ship, dozens of elite alien reinforcements descended in enormous pods, each one armed with experimental weapons designed to neutralize the humans' gravity suits. "Everyone positions." Mira shouted. Her voice carried authority, but inside her heart raced. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and facing technology they had never encountered. The humans split into 3 groups, using the terrain for cover. Gravity suits allowed them to leap over massive craters, cling to cliffs, and strike from angles the aliens could not predict. Mira observed the battlefield carefully. Timing and intelligence would be their greatest weapons. The first pods hit the ground with crushing force. Aliens spilled out, each one armed with lances that burned through the air like liquid fire. Myra's team waited. They had learned from previous waves. Patience was power. The aliens moved with precision, surrounding the humans. Their elite soldiers had adapted. They no longer stumbled. Every attack was calculated. Every strike was meant to overwhelm. Mira gritted her teeth. Focus. Predict their moves, not just react. Strike where they are weakest. Her team surged into motion. Gravity pulses sent enemies tumbling into craters. Rocks and debris became weapons. The humans were not larger or stronger, but they were clever. Each attack was synchronized, precise, and deadly, yet the aliens had learned too. They adapted faster than before, coordinating their movements, creating counter-strategies. The humans' pulses were deflected. Gravity maneuvers were anticipated. For the first time, Mira felt genuine fear, not for herself, but for her team. One mistake here could mean annihilation. Then, the unexpected happened. From a command ship above, a massive alien juggernaut descended, towering over the battlefield. It was armored in black alloy, its multiple arms bristling with weapons. Its landing shook the ground, sending dust and rocks into the air. The human suits allowed them agility, but they were small against a force like this. Mira assessed the situation quickly. The juggernaut's joints glowed with energy. Its arms swung in wide arcs, firing bolts that could pierce through steel. Direct engagement would be suicide. Divide and distract. Mira commanded. Use the canyon to your advantage. Her team split, drawing the juggernaut into the narrow valleys between cliffs. Its massive size became a disadvantage. The energy beams hit walls and bounced unpredictably, while the humans struck with microgravity pulses at exposed joints. The juggernaut roared, spinning wildly, crushing everything in its path. Myra's pulse struck its leg joint, causing it to falter. Sparks flew. Rocks collapsed under its weight. For the first time, a massive alien machine was vulnerable to human ingenuity. The humans coordinated silently, communicating with gestures and brief commands. Each strike, each dodge, each movement was calculated to exploit weaknesses in both the juggernaut and the elite soldiers. Above, the alien command ship adjusted its strategy. The elite alien commander was no longer laughing. His soldiers had failed multiple times. He now realized the humans' greatest weapon was not their suits. It was their intelligence. He activated a new device. Energy beams shot toward the humans, creating a magnetic field that disrupted their suit stabilizers. The humans faltered briefly, stumbling and colliding with rocks. Myra's mind raced. If the field lasted too long, they would be trapped and crushed. Form a circle, she shouted. Use the pulses to stabilize each other. The humans linked movements, each pulse feeding into the next. They stabilized their motion, turning the disruption into a weapon. The field overloaded, sparks flying from alien devices. A massive explosion rocked the battlefield. The aliens screamed as some of their soldiers were sent tumbling. Mira smiled, grimly proud. This is our moment. Push forward. They surged, striking at the Juggernaut's exposed core. Gravity pulses combined with precise physical strikes destabilized it further. The machine toppled, crushing part of the alien reinforcements beneath it. The battlefield erupted in chaos. But the elite alien commander was not done. He leaped from his hovering ship, landing with a force that sent a shockwave through the ground. His energy lance glowed brighter than ever. You think you can defeat me? He bellowed. I am invincible. Mira faced him calmly. You misjudge humans. We are not invincible, but we never give up. The commander charged. Mira and her team scattered, using every trick they had learned. Gravity pulses, feints, and coordinated strikes targeted the commander's weak points. Sparks flew as his armor cracked, and his confidence wavered. The humans pressed their advantage. The elite commander, once arrogant, now fought desperately, realizing the humans were unpredictable, relentless, and fearless. Each movement of the humans forced him to adapt, but he could not anticipate every strike. Mira saw her chance. She leaped from a cliff, gravity suit boosting her speed. She landed precisely behind the commander, sending a pulse through the ground that unbalanced him. Her team struck simultaneously from multiple angles. With a final roar, the commander was knocked down, stunned, and defeated. For the humans, it was a monumental victory. They had survived a reckoning wave, defeated the Juggernaut, and humiliated the elite alien commander once again. Yet, Mira knew this was not the end. Reinforcements would continue to arrive. Alien technology would adapt. The human survival depended on constant vigilance, courage, and intelligence. She gathered her team. We've proven that humans can fight any odds, she said. But the war is far from over. Stay alert. The next challenge will be even greater. The humans moved forward cautiously. Their suits hummed with energy, ready for the next confrontation. Every step, every movement was calculated. The battlefield was theirs. For now, the aliens, humiliated and furious, retreated to regroup. They had underestimated humans again. Their elite soldiers had fallen not because of strength, but because of intelligence, courage, and unity. The humans had changed the course of the battle once more. They were no longer considered weak, insignificant, or easy to defeat. Each victory, each clever maneuver, had sent a clear message. Humans were a force to be reckoned with. The sun set, casting long shadows over the ruined battlefield. Mira looked at her team, exhausted but triumphant. We've survived the reckoning, she said quietly, and we will survive whatever comes next. For the humans, every victory was hard-won. Every step forward required intelligence, courage, and teamwork. But they had proven something vital. No matter how powerful the enemy, humans could overcome through adaptability, strategy, and heart. As night fell, the battlefield lay in ruin, lit only by fires and sparks from destroyed alien machines. Myra's team stood together, ready for the next phase of the fight. They had faced a reckoning wave and survived. The aliens had learned a harsh lesson. Humans were unpredictable, fearless, and clever. Arrogance could not defeat ingenuity. And for Mira and her team, the fight had taught them the most important lesson of all. No enemy was unbeatable, and no challenge could break them as long as they fought together. The stage was set for the final part of the story. Humans had survived the deadliest waves, defeated elite soldiers, and toppled massive war machines. The ultimate test, the final confrontation, was coming. Mira tightened her grip on her suit controls. Rest if you can, she said. Tomorrow we finish this. The battlefield was silent for a moment, but the humans knew the silence was temporary. The aliens would return. The war was far from over. But Myra's team was ready, smarter, faster, and braver than ever. They had turned the tide, survived a reckoning, and proved that humans could fight and win against even the most elite alien forces. And as the fires of the battlefield burned into the night, a single thought echoed in Myra's mind. Humans were not just survivors. They were warriors. The reckoning had passed, but the final reckoning was coming. The battlefield was quiet, but it was a tense, uneasy quiet. Fires from destroyed alien machines flickered across the craters and jagged rocks, casting long shadows under the blood-red sky. Mira Daniels and her team crouched among the rubble, their gravity suits glowing softly, each pulse reminding them of the energy that still ran through their bodies. They had survived wave after wave of alien attacks, toppled massive war machines, and even humiliated the elite alien commander. But they knew this was far from over. The aliens had retreated only to regroup. The final confrontation, the ultimate test of human ingenuity and courage, was coming. High above, the alien command ship descended, its hull darker and more menacing than before. From it, the final wave of elite soldiers and experimental war machines emerged faster, stronger, and more deadly than any the humans had faced. Their energy weapons hummed in anticipation, ready to annihilate everything in their path. "This is it," Mira whispered, her eyes scanning the horizon. "Everything we've done comes down to this moment. Stay focused. We fight smart, we fight together, and we will win." Her team nodded, exhaustion mixed with resolve on their faces. Each human soldier knew the odds. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and facing enemies who had mastered advanced tactics and devastating weaponry. But they also had something no alien could replicate: intelligence, adaptability, and an unbreakable will. The first wave of alien soldiers advanced across the open plains, their footsteps pounding like thunder. Myra's team moved strategically, using craters, cliffs, and the remains of destroyed machines as cover. Gravity suits allowed them to leap over obstacles, cling to cliffs, and strike from unexpected angles. The humans struck first. Microgravity pulses sent aliens tumbling into craters. Rocks and debris became improvised weapons, and every strike was calculated for maximum impact. The elite soldiers were fast and deadly, but the humans were unpredictable. Then, the aliens revealed their ultimate weapon, the Titan Walker. Towering over the battlefield, bristling with energy cannons and armed limbs, it stomped across the plains, crushing everything in its path. Even gravity suits were challenged by its sheer size and destructive power. Mira assessed the battlefield quickly. Divide and distract. We need to split its attention and exploit weak points. Her team moved in perfect coordination. Some created feints, drawing the walker's weapons away, while others targeted its joints with gravity pulses. Sparks flew as metal groaned, and the massive machine stumbled. For a brief moment, the humans had shown the aliens that size and strength were not everything. The aliens retaliated fiercely. Energy beams fired from multiple angles, forcing the humans to dive and dodge continuously. Myra's pulse raced, coordinating her team's movements like a conductor leading an orchestra of chaos. Each strike was precise, each dodge deliberate. They were a blur, impossible for the aliens to predict. In the middle of the battlefield, the elite alien commander reappeared, his armor more advanced than before, his energy lance glowing like molten fire. His voice boomed across the plains. "You will fall today, humans," he roared, charging toward Mira. "No suit, no trick, no cunning can save you." Myra's eyes narrowed. She had faced him before, and now she understood his greatest weakness: overconfidence. He relied on brute strength and overwhelming power, expecting humans to react, not anticipate. "Team, focus on him." Mira shouted, "Make him pay for underestimating us." Her squad moved like shadows, striking from multiple angles. Gravity pulses knocked them off balance, while rocks and debris rained down from above. The commander swung his lance, deflecting some attacks, but the humans' unpredictability forced him into defensive moves. The Titan Walker roared, its limbs thrashing wildly. Mira knew that taking it down required a coordinated strike. She studied its movements, analyzing the rhythm of its attacks. Timing was everything. One wrong move, and the humans could be crushed in seconds. "On my mark!" Mira shouted. Her team readied themselves. Every pulse, every leap, every strike had to be synchronized perfectly. The humans were small, but they were precise, faster than the aliens expected, smarter than the aliens could predict. Mira leapt from a cliff, gravity suit boosting her speed. She landed on the walker's arm, sending a concentrated gravity pulse into its joint. Sparks flew, metal groaned, and the walker faltered. At the same time, other team members struck its legs and torso, destabilizing it further. The elite alien commander tried to intervene, swinging his lance toward Mira. She dodged midair, landing safely behind him. The team closed in, striking simultaneously. Gravity pulses hit his armor at multiple weak points. For the first time, the elite commander stumbled, his confidence cracking. The battlefield erupted in chaos. Sparks flew, energy beams collided with gravity pulses, and the Titan walker lurched uncontrollably. Aliens screamed as their machines toppled, and their carefully coordinated formations fell apart. Mira saw the opportunity. "All together," she shouted. The team combined their power, gravity pulses forming a focused wave of energy. It struck the walker's core and the commander simultaneously. The ground shook violently, sending dust and debris into the air. The Titan walker collapsed in a massive explosion, crushing several elite soldiers beneath its weight. The commander was thrown across the battlefield, his lance shattered, and his armor sparking wildly. Silence fell for a heartbeat. The humans stood, breathing heavily, but victorious. Their suits were battered, their bodies exhausted, yet their eyes gleamed with triumph. The alien commander struggled to rise, fury and disbelief in his eyes. Mira approached, her gaze steady. "You laughed at humans," she said quietly. "You thought we were weak, slow, and insignificant. But look at what we can do. We fight with courage, intelligence, and heart. And that makes us stronger than any machine, stronger than any elite soldier." The commander roared one last time, but could not regain control. The humans had proven that no amount of strength, technology, or arrogance could overcome determination, adaptability, and courage. The battlefield began to settle. The remaining aliens retreated, their elite forces broken, their machines destroyed. Myra's team moved carefully through the wreckage, ensuring that no threats remained. For the first time in weeks, the humans had absolute control. They had survived waves of elite soldiers, destroyed massive war machines, and defeated the alien commander himself. The gravity suits had been crucial, yes, but intelligence, strategy, and teamwork had won the day. Mira gathered her team. "We did it," she said softly. "We've survived the impossible. Today, we've shown the universe what humans are capable of." Her team nodded, exhausted but elated. They had fought not just for survival, but for recognition that humans were clever, fearless, and unstoppable when united. Above them, the alien command ship retreated into orbit, carrying the remnants of its forces. It would take time for them to regroup, and by then, humans would be ready. Today was a victory, but it was also a lesson to the universe. Underestimate humans at your own risk. Mira looked across the battlefield. Sparks from destroyed machines glimmered, like stars against the darkening sky. The humans had turned what seemed like certain defeat into an epic triumph. They had fought smarter, moved faster, and struck harder than anyone had anticipated. "Rest if you can," Mira said to her team. "Tomorrow we rebuild, we prepare, and we continue to prove that humans will never be underestimated." The humans moved together, battered but unbroken, their suits glowing softly in the fading light. They had survived the final showdown. They had faced the strongest, most elite forces of the aliens, and emerged victorious. And as night fell over the battlefield, Mira felt a quiet satisfaction. Humans were no longer the species to be laughed at. They were warriors, strategists, and survivors. The war was far from over, but today had been won. The universe had seen what humans were capable of, and no alien arrogance would ever dismiss them again. For Mira and her team, this was more than a victory. It was a declaration. Humans, small yet clever, fearless and united, could survive anything. They could turn the tide of any battle, defy any odds, and triumph against the greatest threats imaginable. The battlefield lay silent now, the wreckage of machines and fallen soldiers scattered across the plains. Fires burned low, casting a warm glow on the exhausted humans. Mira took a deep breath, feeling the weight of victory and the promise of future challenges. Humans had survived, humans had adapted, and humans had triumphed. The final showdown was over, and the universe would never forget it. The elite alien forces had learned a hard truth. Humans were not just survivors. They were warriors, and they would fight, endure, and win no matter the odds. And in that quiet, victorious moment, Mira Daniels and her team stood together, knowing that they had not only survived the ultimate test, they had defined the future of humanity in the universe.